Welcome back to my channel. The subject for today's discussion is a periodic table. As I told you, from 1992 I've been thinking about so many things, trying to connect the dots. So one such thing was the periodic table. As you can see here, this is the periodic table. It has basically what you call the vertical columns are called the groups, and the uh, horizontal rows are called periods. So if you look at the structure, you will see even by the color differentiation you can see, if you know about physics, the electronic configuration, the subject of electronic configuration in physics and chemistry, we have orbitals called SPDF. S orbital has two electrons. This is electronic configuration, but mainly for a stable atom, as we know, we need equal number of electrons as the number of protons in the atom. So if you have, for example, if you have one proton, that is hydrogen, then you need one electron. So similarly, if you have, let us say for helium, it has two protons of helium, which is here shown here. This is helium. Helium has two protons, which means it should have two electrons to be stable. So that is how the structure of atom is basically constructed. That's the structure of atom, of a stable atom rather. So if you observe here, there is H, here there is helium. So there are at the topmost period we have only two elements. Let us look at the next period, Li, Be, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. So here we have, apart from these two, I mean, if you call these two the s orbital, here we have p orbital here. That is 6 elements here. That is, by when you reach neon, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That is total of 10. So neon is 10. So the configuration ends here in a stable atom, stable element rather. So next thing also, here you have two, that is these two belong to the s orbital. These 6 again belong to the next p orbital. That is argon is excuse me, argon is 18, which has configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, right? So 18, total of 18. So it goes on increasing, this being the s orbital, this being the 6 being the p orbital. When we come to the third period, we have another orbital which has 10 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the sp-d, d orbital. D orbital has 10 electrons. So again, you split the configuration of krypton, which is 36, I think. Yeah. So 18 plus 18, 36. Is it 36? Let me check 1 second. let me check. Yes, that is 36. So I am a bit uh, being lazy here, because you can as well go on doing the 1s to 2, 2p6, 3s1 according to our Bond principle. The least energy orbital occupying the electrons occupying the least energy orbital first. That rule we follow, but then I don't want to go into those details, because that's any high school physics chemistry student will know. So anyway, this ends up in 36. If you observe this structure, here you have 2, here you have 8, here you have 8 again, here 8 plus 10, that is 18. Here you have again 18, here you have 18, and here you will have again how many? The next orbital comes into picture in the fifth, what is that period? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh. When you come to the seventh period, you will observe that the F orbital will have 14 elements, right? If you count these, there will be 14, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the seventh period will have 14 elements. Even it starts, yeah. So not even seventh, it starts with 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See here. So from the sixth and seventh periods, have the F orbital also. So you know these basics, they are not rocket science. Anyone will know about the periodic table. What I am trying to come up with, the picture I am trying to come up with is, I always used to think that the two-dimensional representation of periodic table is not correct, because in two-dimensional uh, representation of the periodic table, these two f orbitals cannot be included, right? These f orbitals have been put elsewhere. So I always used to think that two-dimensional representation of periodic table is wrong. There should be a three-dimensional representation of periodic table, which should more or less look like the pyramid. So if you go to pyramidal structure, let us now go to our pyramid. This is our pyramid. Now I would like to connect science with the esoteric symbols. That is basically the Chichen Itza pyramid. It is Chichen Itza pyramid tells you a lot about the structure of this world, three-dimensional world, and life itself. Life is nothing but extension of the three-dimensional world. So let us see here how we can relate to this, how we can represent a periodic table as a pyramid. And why too? Because the if you watched my previous videos about my discovery the most important discovery I made rather was that the Planck's constant can be uh, ex- can be described as 119 times mass of proton by speed of light. That is, in other words, when sorry the battery went off. So when 119 protons um, come together, they divide into 3 into 10 raised to 8 quanta. So that is my definition of Planck's constant. So 3 into 3 into 10 raised to 8 particles it divides into. So what does that mean? 119 is a specific number, and how many elements you have in the periodic table. Now I think you can see where I'm going with this. So 119 protons come together and divide into 3 into 10 raised to 8 particles, meaning and there are 118 elements in the periodic table. In my previous video, I explained that these quanta, 119 quanta, supply energy to each of these 118 elements. 119 is bundle of energy, which is nothing but electromagnetic radiation, which supplies energy to 1 to 118 elements. So now let us see how it is related to this Chichen Itza pyramid, how we can relate these two. So in my previous video, I have explained that there are 91 steps here, which is nothing but 13 7 times is 91. That if that is one way of putting it. The second way of coming up with the number 91 is 64 plus 27. That is 64 being 4 cube, 27 being 3 cube. That is basically sun and moon, according to me. So sun and moon, 64 plus 27 gives 91. That is the present structure of Chichen Itza. So let us come back to the today's slide. What if we add another moon? Let us say sun is 64, moon is 27. If we add another moon, what will be the number? Let us see. 64 sun, 4 cube is 64 sun, 3 cube is 27 moon, and another moon 27. So 64 plus 27 is 91. This 91. If you add 27 to this 91, what will you get? 118. 118. Where did we hear about 118? Of course, just now, the very subject of our discussion is periodic table, which has 118 elements. So now you see where I am going with this. If you and there is no way you can divide 118 into 4 sides, because 118 divided by 4 is not an integer. So what should we do? What else can we do if we explore that? If you take this as hydrogen, the topmost, the what do you call, vertex of the pyramid as hydrogen 1, and take 13 into 9. 13 into 9 is 117. Okay, 13 into 9 is 117. So 117 steps if you have, each side you have that 117 steps, then what would you get? Including this hydrogen, the one on the top, each side will have, each of the sides will have 118 elements. So that is what I'm driving at. So in essence, what does this mean? It means that the pyramid of Chichen Itza is nothing but our three-dimensional model of the elements, natural elements. If you consider each of these steps spiraling from here, then you will get, by the end of, you count everything, if you start from here, end up here, this step and end up at this step, there will be 118 steps, of course considering this as the first step. So the periodic table, in a way we can say, periodic table is represented by the Chichen Itza pyramid. So that's one aspect of it. And the other aspect is what we need to get there. Meaning, to get there we need the two moon. Two moon, in the sense, this model of Chichen Itza, if we extrapolate the Chichen Itza model to 13 into 9, that is 117 steps, instead of 91 that we have at present, that will be a temporary, basically what you call the mix and mash of sun and moon model, in the sense one sun two moon model. This you can say. But what is the basic ideal structure? Ideal structure is basically one sun 64 and the all the other energies of, or what do you call this guy? Let me show you once again the this guy here. If you take total of these all these things plus this and this on the side of tree of knowledge, you will get 126. So from here, the 126 pyramid, Chichen Itza pyramid, represents this path. Starting here, like this, you go this way. This side of tree of knowledge it represents. So tree of knowledge, yeah, this is 120, but basically including the tail it will be 126. So you can say this structure of periodic table can be represented as the Chichen Itza pyramid. You see here why I mentioned for 66 is 66 is nothing but 2 into 33, that is 33 is nothing but 3 raised to 3 represents moon. So 2 times moon 66, the number 66, 2, that is 2 into 33 represents 2 moons and 1 sun. That's what the present mishmash of tree of knowledge and tree of life are. So, of course, as I always tell you, the choice is yours. Whether you choose tree of life or and live eternally in this number 8, it's the vicious circle of life and death, or you choose the 120, the cycle of the tree of knowledge, that is 120 and altogether including tail 126, and end up in heaven. It's your choice always. The tree of knowledge people never force their opinion on anyone, whereas the tree of life people always force their opinion and make the souls come back and go through all the torture. That's what I wanted to tell you today. So let's meet the next time. Keep smiling. Bye.